everyone, welcome back. If I get through this video, it's going to be a miracle. I think I must be on take 27 by now, literally. I think it's official. I think I've permanently lost my cameraman. So the last couple of videos, I've been doing this solo, and it's really not too fun. It's turning into a nightmare. I have to keep walking back and forth. You kind of feel like you're going crazy when you stand here talking to yourself. I know that it's going to make a video, but at the moment, it's a little weird. You're like the kids when they joke, the walls are closing in, the walls are closing in. Well, it's not that bad, but it is weird. I have had a project share to bring your way for over 3 months, and I'm finally bringing it your way. The little gift boxes, they're really cute. So this is just an easy little box to make. All I did was put the little tissue paper inside, which is an easy fix. You don't have to go and buy the inside packaging. This is a cute little bracelet that I would have purchased at Christmas time. And I really feel like this is the signature jewelry because it's the green and black, which matches the company logo. So it's just really adorable. I think everybody needs to buy one just to have it. Hopefully, Matt has a bunch of these beads to keep making them. Okay, so I'm just going to skip from that, and I'm going to go right on to the shopping haul, and then I'll come back to the little gift boxes that I had made. These are really nicely made. So this would be the back, and this is also a large. I'm wearing a small. So you can see this is a good size, which is the front, and you can see what the original neck looked like, where I've gone ahead and cut this one and then kind of just rolled it a little bit. Keeps sliding on me. Every time I reach up, I think the shirt moves. But I have cut the front and the back. So I'm so little, it's kind of funny. I can turn this t-shirt around and wear the back for the front. So talk about getting a bang for your buck. I think the back is really cool looking. So it's really cute to reverse it. I'm sure everybody couldn't do that, but I'm so tiny I can. So this is the front, but the little necklaces I wanted to hold up and show you. They're really adorable. So I'm just crazy over that style of necklace. Obviously I play the guitar, so it fits me to perfection. And this would be the size that I'm wearing, a small. So you can see exactly what it would have looked like before I cut down the neck and kind of turned it into like a little scoop neck. And this is just the plain guitar pick without a charm on it. I love it. I think it's really pretty. And then this would be a similar version. It has different color beads, but would have the little music note on it. So that's really cute. And also the leather is brown on this one, and this one would have been black, so they do differ from each other. Put those there. And I love this one. It's like the little leaf style. Which is really cute. Now this size, this is a large also, but I do have a medium, which would be this one. What I've done was I purchased a large for my husband, my dad, my son would have the medium, and then I picked up a few small. And this is also a cute little guitar pick necklace. So again, I have quite the collection going. So I believe Matt is taking like pre-orders right now, which he's already ordered the first set, and now he's going into the second set of t-shirts. So hopefully everyone that watches will be able to order one and get some sales coming in along with jewelry. I love giving him a shout out because he has such amazing products that he makes. Quality, I'm always, if you've watched my videos, I do have an issue with quality. So, I mean, I thought it was something that I could find something at the Dollar Tree, which I think I may have had one video in the past that my husband would have picked me up a few things. But quality, oh, I just love it if you can get your hands on something that's made to perfection. I mean, without a flaw. When you can buy 2 custom pieces that are your exact fit, because you just take the size of your wrist, the measurements, and then he creates to your size. So it's just amazing to get something in the mail, put it on, and have it fit perfect. That was not the case growing up as a little tiny thing that I was. It didn't matter anything, a watch, a little bracelet, whatever, nothing ever fit. So my father was always fiddling with something, taking links out, trying to make something smaller if you could. So still, I'm little. So it's just perfect when I can get jewelry that fits to perfection. I just love it. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I think, share a few of the little handmade gift boxes, and then I'm gonna have to reposition the camera. I think I'm just gonna aim down at the table, and I'll go about the DIY that way and probably show some close-ups. But this would be a fairly good size box, where this one right here, you can tell it's just the perfect size for a bracelet, and this one is just a little bit bigger. Kind of getting ahead of myself, though. I should be going to the little smaller ones first, which I will, and then I'll go back to that large one. I wanted to share little Christmas gifts that I had received. So this would be another bracelet. These beads are quite large, which is just beautiful. I don't believe I had anything quite this size. And just a real pale pink. So I love that. And the little box is just this little box with a little heart cut out of the middle, with the little embossed acetate, which I believe I used a little basket weave embossing folder, which is really cute. So all of this cardstock with all of these little boxes that I share with you, it's all Anna Griffin products. And then this would just be another little style, which is just simple. 3 little buttons and a bow. Again, with the little heart cut out in the middle. And the bracelet inside of this one is really, really pretty. Very elegant, that would go with anything. I just love it. Really, really cute. And then this little style is very simple. All it is a little bow. And I did that on a few. You really don't have to do much to these when you have such pretty cardstock. And I'll even show that you don't have to do anything but make the little box, and they're really just as pretty. And this would have been the little Christmas bracelet, which really is Christmassy looking. Guess I don't need to be putting the covers on these like I am. That's a cute little box, the little rosette. Cute for Christmas. And again, it's amazing to get everything your exact size. And that little box, which is kind of like a little Valentine cardstock. And this was just a very simple little style, which most people have little hearts that just put a little bow in the middle. And it doesn't take much at all. And along with this bracelet feeling like it's really a little signature piece, I kind of feel like that about this, because this jeweler, Matthew Fox, was a firefighter for almost 25 years. I think I paired this with a Coca-Cola shirt that looked really cute. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this bigger one. And what I thought that I would do, I thought that I would place this on top, but I really wanted to hold off on doing that until I shared this. So these are just 2 little pieces, and I was kind of amazed. If I can get that back, I'll try to show this like it with a close-up, but I was amazed at the detail of design. It looked like it was made by the same company, and it wasn't. It's 2 totally different dyes from different companies, but it paired perfectly and just gave that little bit of gold that you'd want in the background. And I just thought it looked cute if I was to put that on this little box. So I will permanently adhere this, and then you can see it a little bit better. But I'm going to stop right here just a second before I go any further. And I kind of want to just share on the foil cardstock on how you can take this, which is, you know, right here, but if you insert it in an embossing folder, how if, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I have a lot of foil that it just seems to get scratched and marred. Fingerprints seem to come out of nowhere. And when you emboss this, it just takes every flaw away and just looks beautiful. So then when you go to place your little embellishment over that, it's really pretty. It just takes on a whole different look. So this is just a little tip. If you're not used to doing this, it really does help. So let's see, I have a whole little kind of a little container of handmade things that I've done, but I think when the camera is aimed down, that will be best. You'll be able to see better. And I've just simply gone ahead where you've seen this one, and I've gone ahead and made a pink and blue one. And if you think it stops there, it doesn't. I don't know, I think I'm almost like in a mindset of creating to go to a craft fair, because if I make something, it's almost like I want to make 20, 30, 40, 50, and I think I literally made about 50 boxes. By the time I was done, I could have made 200. That's how fun and easy they are to make. So you can see the different colors, which, well, maybe I'll take them out. I have tons of boxes to embellish. And this was all just the pre-cut, purchased cardstock from Anna Griffin. Just scored it, folded it, and turned it into a box. The box lid, I would have used Nina cardstock for the base, but the designs, they just come out to perfection because they're so pretty. They're just created for greeting cards. So when you get those little fancy designs like this, it just falls perfectly for the box. Just too cute. And if you think that's a lot of what I've shown so far, I actually have a box full, which is really cute. I'm going to take out a few of these, see if I can move a few things here. I will do close-ups. I've shown you two different sizes, which this would be the one perfect for bracelets, and then this one a little bit bigger, which I will actually add the embellishment on. I also have a different thickness, so you can see how thick this one is, and then you can see that this one's a little thinner. So I've just gone ahead and made some out of just the regular Nina cardstock, which this was just a cute little cutting die. And then I've gone ahead and decoupaged this other one on, which I've really gone in with a very textured technique. So some people might not like gluing all of this. It's a lot easier when you actually decoupage the die cut on. So this was just a little open heart, and then this was the same heart with the little smaller one inside, which offers a different look. And again, I would have gone in with the decoupage. And then I would have done this little style. So I think I probably will share this in an upcoming DIY, how I do this. It's just effortless. It just, I mean, you can create this in no time, where sometimes you have to be a little bit fussy with decoupage to make sure you're not getting lines, and the appearance is just perfect. You don't have to fuss when you do this technique, and it looks great. Now this is a little bit of a different cutting die, which is really cute. And then with this one, you have a really wide opening, which really takes up almost the whole front of the box, which would be adorable to show the item through the window. So I thought that was a cute little look. Again, all Anna Griffin cardstock. This would be in the little blue and white with the little snowflakes. So when I said I was taking you back to Christmas, yeah, I am, because these are actually little Christmas-themed boxes, which I love this paper. And then this would just be the little plane, which I don't think I showed that, how you can see with a little heart cutout. Either or, I think this one looks just as good as the one with the little heart. And then that would have been in the pink. But you really don't have to get fussy with them. They're really cute no matter how you go ahead and embellish them. Just plain little boxes that you can whip up, and wow. It doesn't take much at all, and you've got a ton within just a few minutes. That little pattern is cute. Okay, well, I'm back just to share a few of the little handmade embellishments that I made. I know that I had held up a container in the video, and I don't think anyone really got a close-up view. I am going to go over this little one, how I put all the cutting dies together. It's really cute because I used 4 different brands of cutting dies to do this. I would have started with a 2-layer Anna Griffin cutting die, then would have gone on to this right here. I did want to show this, so I'll stop just a second. I had shown this a while ago in a previous shopping haul, and it's just amazing, this cutting die set, First Edition Crafts by Trimcraft. So I would have used this one, and I would have used this cutting die throughout, but it would be that one right there. So we've got 2 Anna Griffin dies, then the Trimcraft, then I would have gone on to a Couture Creation cutting die, and then ended with a Spellbinders. So it's really a riot how that went together. It just looks like you would have purchased it that way, but it just shows too what you can do with your cutting dies. Really look around. If you have a large selection, it's amazing what you can come up with for different looks, and it's really cute. Okay, well, I'll just go right on to this one because this is a really cute little look and it doesn't take much at all. Again, I would have used this set by Trimcraft. So this would just be the antique white matte cardstock with just your gold foil and a little Prima flower with a button. And it's just perfect. It's just the perfect size. So really cute, and it's so simple to make this. And really, I think this looks just as good as this one. One looks as good as the other. This might be a little bit more work involved and more cutting dies, but honestly, it's just as cute. Okay, one little thing I did want to mention, I wanted to get just a regular little flower and show you the difference of what just a flower and button would look like on this little box. But when you go to add the back piece, it does change it. So you can see it's just kind of like that bow on the package. And another little look that I had done for this flower, you know, you go from just the flower and the button to the flower button, but you have a few of the little leaves, whether you angle them this way or the other way. You can just wrap the stem behind the button, and that's a cute little look. Instead of taking like what would have been the leaf and putting it behind it, it's just a cute little look I found, just to actually wrap it behind the button and leave that right on the top. And that's a cute little look as well. Okay, another little idea, I had shown this in the video, but you can also add just the little lace rosette to the front, and that will change it. So that's a cute little look. And if anybody would like to see how to make these, I can hold a DIY on that. It's very easy. So you can see with this little cutting die, just to use the lace rosette over a little Spellbinders die cut and a little button, how cute that is. But when you go and add here again, this little cutting die set that I'm going to keep referring to, if you just put that as a little back piece, what a difference that does. It's just amazing. It's kind of like night and day. It just bumps up the elegance, which you can see it on a little box. If I was to just place this, how cute that is. So just a cute little look, and that would be just a little Spellbinders cutting die, and this would be the die cut. It's really cute, little tiny hearts on each side. And you can see how cute this cardstock from Anna Griffin is, that it's made for a greeting card, but it's just perfect to turn into a box. So this is what it would have looked like. And then when it turns into the box, the pattern just falls perfectly on the edge, which is really, really cute. I've noticed that the foil cardstock, it will scratch, you'll get little dents in it, fingerprints seem to show everywhere. Well, if you run it through an embossing folder, it's amazing the difference that it makes. All the flaws just disappear. And you can still layer. I don't know if the camera will pick up very good, but you can layer gold on gold. Now, this would be a Couture Creations cutting die, and this is the Spellbinders. I couldn't believe how these paired up together. So you can still place it over something like this. But you could see how cute that would be in the center if this was a little box. Okay, I'm just simply going to go over supplies needed, which we'll be making a little box similar to this one. So you'll want, I would say, between 80 and 100 pound cardstock, and then just a simple designer cardstock by Ian Griffin for the top. Not quite sure the weight on this, but it's a pretty good cardstock weight. Really, anything that you find in your craft store, any pad of cardstock that you pick up should work just fine. So just typical tools like your paper trimmer, your scoring board, scissors. I will use 4 paper clips just to tack the box together before I glue it, which then I'll use Aleene's glue. And I probably will end up just using a few glue dots just for the window plastic that will be going on the box. So of course you're going to need a cute little cutting die set that would be the appropriate size. You can go in with anything. And I even questioned maybe I'd go in with 2 smaller hearts on the very bottom. If not, just take it for the thought that it is, if the room doesn't allow. But I thought that would be a really cute little look. And I will be using embossable window plastic, which you could just use regular acetate, but it would be cute also if you were to actually use a rubber stamp and heat emboss a little sentiment on this. That would be a very cute little look. But this is such good quality window plastic that I'm just going to go ahead and use it with an embossing folder. And I have to mention this one by Couture Creations, the little Swiss dots. This is the most elegant embossing folder for having an embossing folder that's kind of on the plain side. It's just perfect. As you can see with this little one, it's just the perfect little something added that's not too much, and you can still see through it just perfectly. So I had to mention that, but I think I've gone over everything, so I'm just going to aim the camera down and we'll get started. Okay, well, by the time I'm filming this, I would have already made the little box that I was mentioning, and I thought that I would try 2 smaller cutting dies on the bottom. It came out pretty cute. This would be just a little bow that you could add, whether it was on the bottom or kind of just a little slanted right over the heart. This would be memories from video number 1. And then this would be memories from video number 2, which is just the simple little box with just the one little die cut. We'll be making one similar. I think I'll just go ahead and make this one similar to this. I am going to change the cardstock out just because I ended up kind of using it both ways. This one ran sideways, and then this little pattern was up and down. So let's see, the first video, the lighting was completely wrong in this craft room, so I deleted the footage. And then the second little video my son had filmed, and it was just filmed too close, and oh my word, I had the worst headache that hit me a couple of days ago, and I kept it all night long, the whole rest of the day, which was yesterday, and even up until nighttime. I was actually a little sick to my stomach, so I don't know. I don't normally get migraines to where I get kind of sick to my stomach, but it was like sinus that went up over my eye. So now I'm back. I've swapped out a couple things, and I'm fine, I should say. The headache finally went. I swapped out the base cardstock for a different kind that I have. Now, the cardstock that I have, I would have honestly bought years ago from the paper mill store. You can just go online, thepapermillstore.com. They are amazing with cardstock, all kinds of paper. You name it, they've got it. Well, the cardstock that I was using when you would score the cardstock, it automatically wanted to kind of tear, I guess you could say. And then when you would take your bone folder, it did not look good at all. So I've ended up going with 100-pound satin cover cardstock, 271 GSM. So this really is 100-pound. I kind of questioned when I had mentioned the cardstock before, because it just seemed like it wasn't quite as thick as others, but it's 12 by 18 inch sheets, 250 count, and honestly, the price is still only running $38.97. $38.97 for 250 sheets of 12 by 18, and it's glossy, so it's satin on both sides. And if you do calligraphy work with markers, this is just perfect. If you draw or stamp and like to color in with your alcohol markers, this really is what you want. So I got thinking about it a little bit and thought, wow, that's really good. If we're working with 12 by 18 inch sheets and we were to cut them in half, meaning we would have 509 by 12 inch sheets. That for $38.97, I think we just blew HSN out of the water, and everywhere else, including craft shops that would carry a product like this. So it's really amazing, and it's perfect. It doesn't split on you or anything. It just holds together to perfection. So I'm going to end up using that for the base, and then I've just chosen this little piece of Anna Griffin Christmas cardstock for the top. All right, so now that I've gone over that, the item number is 279495, and that's if you'd like to buy 250 sheets of 12 by 18 inch cover cardstock. I can also list it. I think I'll put it in the description below, and that way you can just go right there and order if you'd like to. I really highly recommend it. And it's perfect. It looks exactly like a store-bought box. So how professional can you get? All right, well, I'm going to take the camera and aim it right down, and we'll get started making this little box. Okay, well, this is just going to be a little tip that I'm going to add into the video. A lot of crafters will end up purchasing markers for the first time, not realizing that you really need to write on a glossy cardstock. And poor people, they buy these very, very expensive markers, and then they try writing and they think, oh my word, this doesn't work at all. It doesn't work anything like what I watched on, the TV presentation. And it has to do with the cardstock you're using. So make sure you are buying the proper paper and that it has a glossy sheen to it, and then your alcohol markers will just glide right across the page, and you'll notice a complete difference. All right, hopefully everything is nice and bright. You'll be able to see fine. I'm just using 2 pieces of 5.5 inch square pieces of cardstock. So I found that both sides are just the same with this cardstock. So I'm just scoring in 1 inch on each side. Can't get any easier than this. Alright, if you don't push down, this isn't the original folder, bone folder that came with this, so if you don't really push down, it can lift up and you're going to go off of where you need to score. So that's kind of why I went a little bit slow. Okay, right now I'm just going to go ahead and skip to adding the little cutting die. And whoops, I guess I had it loose. We're going to go ahead and just cut that little window out. And it is a little bit difficult to see. Sometimes I go ahead and actually just fold this over and use the bone folder. And maybe I'll do that for this part. Just gonna grab this here, I guess, and set it on just so I can have a little bit of a work surface. Okay, by doing that, I can see the scored lines just a little bit better. Tell you, working with patterned paper, it's a little bit easier if you work with something that has like a little square already in the middle on the design, similar to this one. It would be very easy just to get that little die cut lined up. Can't get any easier than this. If you have a magnifying lamp, it's really, really worth the money. I will tell you that. So I'm glad I set it there. Alright, well, I'm just going to get my die cutting machine. I've got right here. This is a beast. This is really a very, very good machine. I love it. So it's the Cut and Boss by Teresa Collins. And I'm not going to use these plates. Let's see here. So, oh, I wasn't thinking of die cutting with this. I was going to use a couple of different machines and changed my mind. I thought, I'll just go with one. Be a lot easier. So the clear plates would be what would have come with the machine, and I only use these for the embossing folders. I would much rather use the Green Caliber plates. They're just perfect. They don't warp. Oh my word, you can put them through the mill and they'll take it. So I do not like clear plates. Alright, so right now we're just going to go ahead and add the little, which would be if you wanted to use acetate or the little embossing window plastic. And I'm going to go ahead and use that little Swiss Dots embossing folder by Couture Creations. Should have already cut that down, but of course I didn't. Keeping it real, huh? Maybe people like to see me do a little bit other than having everything all done. I already know that I need this to be 3 1/4 square for the inside. mention right now, my cousin could not see this little clear guard on this, and she said she cringes every time I would use it. It looks like I'm going to take this guillotine arm and just cut the tips of my fingers off. No, there's a guard that sticks up a good half an inch, and it keeps you from cutting yourself for one, but it holds whatever you're trying to cut down and keeps it from sliding. So maybe she'll be able to see that, or anyone else watching. It really wasn't the best. I had that kind of offset. Alright, get this lined up. Then I'll bring my machine back. Well, it might help if I had the base. Until you have so many machines, it's hard to keep the paste system straight. This is just as clear as can be. It's as clear as glass. It's really, really good quality. Alright, so you can do one thing. You can either add your glue dots, or you can kind of cheat when it comes to this part. If you already know that your little design will be something in each corner, you can go ahead and simply attach this with like a little tiny attacher. When I did this one, I ended up putting the little finished part of the staple on the inside, but that was just a little idea. I'm just going to go ahead though with this, and I'll use the glue dots. I'll keep them fairly close to the little cutout. Alright, and then we'll just, I'll score this one too. Well, it's scored, I mean I'll fold it. I think I'm fine just using my fingers on this part. I don't think I'll need the bone folder. Okay, this may be the hardest part to the little box, and that would simply be cutting in on the flaps. Don't know if you can, boy, if I could do this and you could see, that would be amazing. I'm just going to follow right in the, I'm not really sure, let me see here. I can see fine, but I don't think you're going to be able to. Just going to get myself right in the groove. Let me see if I can come over and actually work right off of cutting in front of the iPad itself so you can see. Now I am going to point out right here, you don't really want to go past this line here because there's a problem that can happen if you do that. So you want to keep it, I would go right in the middle of that scored line right there. All right, hopefully you could see that and that would be a little bit helpful. And why you don't want to go up above that line is you'll end up with what looks like little pinholes all around the four corners of your box, should you do that, because you're actually cutting into what is going to be the face of the box, so that when you fold the flaps, because you've cut into, again, the top of the box, you're going to have a little pinhole that sticks up all the way around. So when you cut on those score lines, make sure you're not cutting on top of the line that runs above that, and you'll be just fine. All right. So this is literally the hardest part. It would be just cutting on those lines. Once you do it a few times, you'll be fine. And it's really good to use a good pair of scissors with a little sharp point. And I was surprised that a pair of scissors I was using, I didn't believe that they were curved. I was kind of shocked. My mom had bought me a pair like this. I think they came from Amazon and they were yellow and black. Oh my word, every time I would cut, it would take my cut line right in like a moon shape to the left. And when I would go to fold the side, it was sticking over, and it was like that all the way around. Now this would be the same version and these cut straight. So I just found that to be really odd. Maybe that's a good tip if you have that same pair of scissors and you wonder what in the world is happening, like you can't cut in a straight line. No, it's actually the scissors. These little scissors by Tim Holtz, they work good too. Not quite as good as these for this project. Okay, to put the little box together, you want to start with the base, always. And whoops, I'm going to forget a step. I do need to just take a little tiny piece off of the box like this, all the way around. Just like the same idea of how I made the gift bags. And what that's going to do is it's going to line the top up perfectly. You won't have a little piece sticking up, and I'll show you what I mean. If we didn't remove that little piece that would look like this, when you would go to make your box, this piece could end up sticking up higher, but it just gives you kind of leeway, I guess you'd say, of fixing that and getting that just exactly where it needs to be. And also, a lot of people cut this part also. They'll cut this and this. It's really not necessary, and it makes it more difficult on you to put the box together. If you can simply take that flap and line this piece up with the edge, well, that's your guide. And you can just fly to assemble these. And I do have to make mention, you see the bottom of this box with this paper? It's not split at all. It's just beautiful. It scores and folds to perfection. So I'm really, really impressed. Okay, so this is when I'm just going to take the little paper clips and I will go around and line this all up. You can push up from the bottom on the corner and that will square that up on the top. Especially if you're cutting is just a little bit shy of where it should have been, just push up on the bottom and you can fix that. It's a lot better than cutting too far into the box. To just use this little method. Now, I do kind of say I'm a perfectionist when it comes to crafting. So, I don't know. A lot of people aren't, but I mean, you're doing handmade work. I guess I try to get as perfect as I can. As soon as you get the paper clips on and you are square on all four corners, go ahead and remove the two. And I glue 2 flaps at a time. I won't go single all the way around. I just find it a lot easier to square 2 up at the same time. I don't know how glue got on my finger, but I guess it did. And this cardstock, I'm kind of amazed at how it adheres really, really well, like quickly. This little tool, I find, just fits perfectly in the corner. And wow, can you ever fly making these little boxes with just little tricks. It's already stuck, which is really, really quick with this little tacky glue. And again, to be able to keep that straight on the edge, it just really is helpful. But I am amazed at how this cardstock just sticks to itself. We might not find that with the top. It's going on pretty much like super glue. All right, so that is all done. And when it comes to the top, a lot of people put the box together like this. Well, I want the base to be able to fit inside of the lid, so I'm going to go ahead and put it together this way. Oh, it might take a moment here to fix the little flaps. I like working with a half dozen to a dozen boxes at one time. It really is good to work in kind of like a factory type. If you can make multiples of something, it's always so much easier. You don't have to keep reaching for something else, and the steps are eliminated. Again, you can push up from the bottom if the cuts aren't going up as high as you need them to be. Alright, so I'm going to go around one more time. And now remember, the top and bottom of this box, it's the same size paper. So now we're making the lid fit over top of the base. So your sides may come in just a little bit, but it's not going to come in too much. And I like to keep the base of the box inside the lid up just a little bit when I'm working. If you can see that, I leave it up just a little bit. So I'm going to make sure that everything is square and everything matches all the way around. One side isn't different than the other. Okay, and as soon as I have done that, again, I'm just going to remove 2 of the paper clips and do the same technique that I had done putting the base together. So people sell, oh my word, the templates that are sold to make little boxes like this, or cutting dies. They're not necessary at all. It's just so easy. And you can just make any size you want. And again, I'm working with 2, so I'm making sure these are coming out just exactly the same. I think it's better than going around one flap at a time and then being surprised when you come to the last one and you've got a great big gap. You can just kind of make them match right from the start. And we are just about done. That's how easy and effortless these little boxes are to make, and they come out perfect. I don't like keeping the paper clips on like some people glue and paper clip all the way around the box. Well, when you're done, you end up seeing the paper clip mark on every corner. So it doesn't take much just to stand here and do this. Well, I guess I'm not doing that one. I need to be doing the top. That should be all dry. And if you go to put the lid on and it doesn't quite want to go on, just put it the other way, because you have to remember this was sort of custom fit. And obviously that was the right way. And making the box this way, gluing it together, you've just got a really nice tight fit. Not too tight, just perfect, because it's easy to open after. It doesn't take much, and you can open the box right up. And that's how easy it is. So whether you used just a little bow, something about a bow that just finishes something. It's really, really, really cute. You can put it up here, you could put it sideways, or keep it here. And they just make the perfect little jewelry gift boxes. It doesn't matter what size you would do. I find 1 inch deep really is a cute little box, because you're able to put tissue paper inside that looks really nice. I just kind of gone ahead and scrunched up little tissue paper and set inside, and it just looks pretty. Now, this is a good thing that I reached for this little box, because this would just simply be 6-inch cardstock, and it just still 1 inch deep, and it just bumps up that size. So 5.5 square or 6, and this really is perfect for a necklace, where this is just the perfect little bracelet size. So little tricks gives you a perfect little box. So the corners should look pretty good on this box. If I would have cut in too much, you would see like little pinholes. And that's fine if that happens to you, because it did on some of my other ones. I was just flying, working away. They're going to come out fine. If it does do that, just take a little marker and literally touch up the corners and it just disappears. And you could also take just a little bit of Aleene's glue and just add the glue to the corners. Flip it over and wipe it off with your fingers, and that's going to fill in that little look of seeing through the box. So I swear I probably know every trick there is to know with paper crafting. But hey, I guess I've been doing it for quite a few years. So I hope that you have enjoyed this, and I hope that you make a ton of little boxes and that you buy Matt's jewelry. I'm really hoping that this video helps Matt to get some new customers. You will not be disappointed at all. Alright, well I thank you for watching, and I will be coming back with many paper crafting DIYs. I think I'm going to honestly be doing a lot of Christmas DIYs where I just kind of missed Christmas last year, and I think I'm just going to carry Christmas projects right through the entire summer. So, and then we're just going to stash things away for Christmas, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, well, I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.